Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Thanks for joining us for today's video. We're going to have a bit of a Manchester United news roundup. I think it's been last Thursday, was it? The last time me and you sat down, done a live together.
A week.
Had a good chat about Manchester United. So there's a good week there worth of news stories and anything to discuss on Manchester United. So plenty to discuss. We want you involved today as well. And we will discuss some of your comments throughout today's video. But I think the big news, especially this week, was Richard Arnold in walking away from Manchester United. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, international break, wasn't expecting much news. And then, boom, Richard Arnold. Did he get the push? Did he walk? You know, it's inevitable, no matter which way you look at it, that he was going to go. And there's many, many more what are going to go. We've said it for a long time now. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think he should go now. He's in the way. I don't think he'll do any service to United. Yes, United have already announced they've got someone to replace him at the end of December. I just think it's more chaos inside the club keeping him there. There is no reason whatsoever, as far as I'm concerned, for him to still be there. I think he should go. This has been in the offing for a while. For him to make the statement, for Joe Glazer to come out and comment on it, I think this has been known for a while. So whether it's the push or whether he's walked, they were ready with the statements. So I think he should go now. Some
people might say he needs to do it like in most companies when there's a change at the top, like a handover with Patrick Stewart, who's is he the legal counsel for Manchester United, a board member as well. So does that not have to be done before he leaves?
Look,
I think there's something already in place there. This has been going on for a while, these sort of talks, and it's probably already been done in the background.
This has been known, I think, since Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Sheikh Yazim were involved in trying to buy the club. I think they've turned around and said, we're getting rid of everyone. So it's been quite clear that everyone's going to go. He's just announced it now. The club are on board with announcing it. So I think it's been known for a while. What the facts are behind it, I'm not sure. But it's been well documented that new people will be brought into this club. So to me, get him out now. I just think he's in the way. I don't think he's done a great job at United. I think there's many reasons you can point to of him not doing a good job. But get him out now. I just think he's in the way. It just creates more and more chaos and put somebody in charge.
Well, I think Patrick Stewart is already in charge. He has come out and said he's going to be taking interim control, and he's also going to be involved in the search for a new CEO. So it sounds to me as though he's just in charge for the interim, and it's not really him being considered for that job for the long term.
Yeah, but the thing is, who's going to come in? He's due out in December, end of December. I don't think they'll get anyone in by then. I just don't think they will. I think it's all down to the Sir Jim Ratcliffe ticking it over and saying, these are the people I want in. But he's not in charge, and I can't see him being in charge this side of Christmas. I think it's just chaos, and he's looking after himself, Richard Arnold, which is fair enough. You know, he's done a job. He's out there now. So just go. Honest to God, I'll look at it and I see no reason whatsoever for him being there. Someone, yes, is in charge interim, but who's going to take... no one's taking orders. He's got no future dealings with United, Richard Arnold. He's got no input, no authority. So when someone's got no authority, nobody listens.
Yeah, let us know what your thoughts and opinions are on Richard Arnold as well on that news, him leaving Manchester United. Do you think he's done a good job in his role, or do you not think he's done a good job? But just get all your points in there. There's been a lot, well, to be honest with you, with the Sir Jim Ratcliffe deal, nothing's actually been announced yet officially. You know, the talks are out there. It's a £1.3 billion bid for the 25% of the club, but you know, we're still waiting for that news and the announcement as well.
Well, when you're looking at all the reports and that, other reports are coming out now. The Premier League have to endorse it. That'll take 6 to 8 weeks. So when is this deal getting done? It won't be done this side of Christmas. Will not be done this side of Christmas. It's just delay after delay. I don't think they were even ready to turn round to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and say, right, we're accepting your bid. I think that was put on him because there was nothing else on the table.
One thing I've got for you as well, I think it was back in about mid-October, it was reported that, you know, the board members were all going to vote for this proposed 25% offer for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Do you think it's the possibility that Richard Arnold voted against this? And this is why we've seen him leave in the manner that he has, because, you know, it's been pretty sharp, hasn't it, since this news has now come out that the bid's been accepted, albeit not officially. But then next minute, Richard Arnold's leaving.
For Richard Arnold in that meeting to vote against Sir Jim Ratcliffe, that's the writing on the wall. And that's what I'm saying. If that is a great big possibility, to be honest with you, that he could have voted against him. So I wouldn't get rid of that suggestion. I would have that on the table, and that's why I'm saying they've known for a while. Richard Arnold, the Glazers have known for a while. He's going, and whether that's one of the reasons, I'm not sure. But I just look at his handling of Greenwood. It was very, very poor. The things he said, the things he did. 1 minute he's not going, 1 minute he's staying, they're not going to do this, they're not going to do that. Then next thing you know, it's delayed. The
thing is with me, with that Greenwood decision, it was the news that was coming out where they were putting it more on the women's team to be making the decision. I think that was totally wrong for me. And then you heard reports coming out that basically Richard Arnold was flip-flopping on the decision. Certain people inside Old Trafford were being told that he was coming back in August. Then they were changing with the fan backlash across social media, etc. So for a CEO to be acting the way he did of a big institution like Manchester United is just totally wrong.
Yeah,
there's no leadership there.
Yeah, there was no leadership, and anyone from the outside could see that. It was delay after delay of deciding what to do. But then to bring the women's team in it, I think some of them women were away in the Women's World Cup at the time. Yeah. But to bring the women's team in it, as though like I want their opinion before I finalise what's really going on, was very, very poor. That's not leadership, and it just dragged on. So that was poor. And I think at the end of the day, it didn't help him. When you look at people in top positions, and when you look at what he did, meeting the fans in a pub, that didn't go down well. It's not becoming of a CEO of a top company. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying from the position of people looking at a top CEO of a worldwide big major company like Manchester United, because that's what it is, a company. It wasn't becoming of a CEO. And I think people raised their eyebrows at it and said, this isn't the way to act.
Yeah, like I was touching on there with the board members who have voted for or against the actual deal from Ratcliffe. It wouldn't surprise me if he did vote no. Not that his votes have much sway in that boardroom with his Class A shares against the Glazers shares, the Class B, etc. Yeah. But it could have been on the other hand. You know, he did vote, yeah, but he just knows his time's up. Like with any business, if people are coming in and taking a certain amount of control, they're going to bring and want their own people to come in, which leads me on to the point of, is anyone out there who you've seen, who you would expect to come in and replace Richard Arnold in the long term? There's been a lot of names mentioned.
Yeah, there's a lot of names mentioned, and there's
Jean-Claude Blanc for one of them, high-ranking position at PSG. Was he an exec as well at Juventus? So he's got a pedigree there.
Yeah, he's got a pedigree. I can't deny that. But to be honest with you, I think most fans out there and most fans watching here have not got a clue.
I've not,
of how to appoint somebody in that position and what it is they exactly need. We're football fans, you know. We're not accountants. We're not in there sorting out the money and everything else like that. We're football fans. So when it comes down to preference, well, it's not down to us. Yeah. You know, I do see there's lots of names out there and names that I think to myself, yeah, they've been around in football a lot, but what is it exactly 100% you need from somebody to come in? Well, what you want somebody to come in, someone who's top draw, someone who knows the business, has been around, done it, and has a proven track record. And as a fan, that's all you can ask for. Someone with a proven track record in any department, and especially at Manchester United.
Yeah, and I think, well, we've said it a lot of times on videos, and we've heard a lot of yous out there saying the same thing. We need the best in class in all departments here at Manchester United. So that's, for me, the guy who's going to be at the top, who's leading the direction of the football club. He needs to be best in class. And that's all I ask for. But that also moves me on to like the director of football, the sporting director. For me, John Murtough isn't that man. So who else is out there? Paul Mitchell gets mentioned. I've heard just as recently as a couple of hours ago, Paolo Maldini now being linked to Manchester United. But for you, is a change needed in that department?
I think a change is needed, definitely. We can see what's gone on. You know, we're not blind. We're football fans. We do see what goes on, and not just in Murto's position. We've said many times, lots of them people in suits have got to go in every department inside this club, because it's just rotten to the core. And it's as simple as that. We've seen it. The club is in disarray. We are where we are. The investment's not been done. What investment has been done hasn't been the right investment, because look at the situation we're in. No, lots more people. I even look at Darren Fletcher. He's part of the situation in the football department. He's got to go as well. Many, many more people. And like you say, we've said it for a long time since it was up for sale. Then at the end of the day, anyone coming in is going to have a clear out, because at the end of the day, who's in there good enough? If they were good enough, we wouldn't be where we are now.
Yeah, especially on the football field.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, though. You're talking about best in class, football directors, sporting directors. Imagine if Sir Jim Ratcliffe turns around and says, well, I want Ralph Rangnick back. Get Ralph Rangnick back here now. I want him as my sporting director. How do you think that would then go down? Because by all accounts, a lot of yous out there and a lot of people in the media, ex-players as well, all think Ralph Rangnick would have been a suitable candidate for that job.
I look at Ralph Rangnick.
He already knows what's going on inside there. We've all heard them press conferences they had, especially with the open heart surgery, what was needed. So he's already got a taste of what's needed to change here at Old Trafford. A better understanding than most of them out there.
He's got the same understanding as we've got. He only said what we were all saying as fans, what was wrong on the pitch, off the pitch, everything like that. Has he got a real good understanding? I don't think so. I did say...
I think that's a bit harsh.
No, I'll tell you what's harsh, and I'll go back to being harsh. I did say Ralph Rangnick was the worst appointment as a manager at Manchester United, and that was on the basis of it was a stupid thing to do to bring in an interim manager. Absolutely stupid. He himself, I'm not saying it was bad for him, but it was bad for the club to bring in an interim manager. It was a bad decision.
I think what they should have done, you know, looking back, don't get me wrong, I could be totally wrong and you disagree out there. I think they should have just kept Michael Carrick in charge, brought Rangnick in to work alongside him in that role that he was meant to be getting at the end of the season, and to see if there was going to be any change there for, 6-7 months, however long Rangnick was in charge for. Might have been less, actually. I
think when you look around the Rangnick appointment and what was going on around it, I think it was just all chaos, and it's just not stopped. Just not stopped. It just goes on and on and on. If it's not the manager situation, if it's not the off-field situation, if it's not the player situation kicking off, you know, look at the two big issues. You know, you've had Ronaldo, you've had Sancho now, massive. It just goes on and on and on. So it needs a big clear out and a big change, but it needs new faces, but top line. No. Oh, he's not too bad. We want best in class.
Yeah, of course. Still struggling to come to terms that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is actually going to be given full control and full say on all football matters. Or do you think he will have that control? Is that why he's probably paid a premium for that 25% share? So he's given the assurances that he's got full control on the football strategy?
I think when you hear reports of Ratcliffe and other people having certain amount of control here and this is what they're going to spend and all this, you have to be sceptical.
Especially when the Glazers are still in charge with the majority of...
Especially when they will still have the majority ownership. Everything what's coming out about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, what I've looked at this week, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Everything. How much he's going to pay, how much shares he's going to have, everything. When you talk about... I mean, reports there about is expected to attempt to mend the Sancho feud. So Jim Ratcliffe, you've got to take that with a pinch of salt. That Sancho feud with Erik ten Hag, that's done and dusted. That's dead.
I would expect Sir Jim Ratcliffe to want to know the full details, the ins and outs of it, if he is taking control of the football strategy. But you can't, in any football club, in my opinion, you can't be having one of the suits making the football decisions that are going to affect on the pitch. And if he was trying to, or wants to try and mend that relationship between Ten Hag and Sancho, what would the rest of the players in the dressing room think? They'd look at Erik ten Hag then, to me, as though like, listen, you've got no say, you've got no power whatsoever. And I think it'd give the players, certain players in there, free rein to do whatever they want again. And we've seen that before in the past.
I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe there would have already been told long ago what the situation is with this Sancho and Eric Ten Hag. And it's nothing to do with him. It's between the manager. The manager's decided this is what's happening. Sancho himself has decided this is what I'm doing. You know, player power, that's what Sancho's trying to do. He should have just knuckled down, got on with the business, and he hasn't done. Should have kept his mouth shut. And for someone in the boardroom to try and, let's say, not just mend the feud, but to interfere, you just don't do it. You leave it down to the manager, because then the manager will be undermined. And we've seen players over the last 10 years at least undermine managers here at Manchester United, and we've just seen that door open and managers go. So, but he's under pressure, Ten Hag, anyway. He's under big pressure because someone coming in anyway, taking over any big company, looks to get rid of CEOs and etc., etc.
Well, they have their own plans, their ideas going forward.
That's right. That's right. So you can't really take any news of what Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants, what he's thinking, what he's going to do, what he's not going to do. You have to take it with a pinch of salt, because I've not heard anything over the last 12 months to do with this sale and how it's being done to actually be the truth.
Yeah, there's also reports out there that he's going to be taking the advice of Sir Alex Ferguson when making decisions at the boardroom level as well. Do you expect that to have conversations with Sir Alex?
I expect Sir Jim Ratcliffe...
Is it the right thing to do as well, though, to sort out someone with that much experience at Manchester United to get the advice off him as well?
Look, of course he's going to talk to Sir Alex at the end of the day. You would expect him to, and quite right. He's going to talk to everybody. He'll want to know what's going on. He'll want people's opinions and all that. Whether he takes them on board is a different matter. But listen, I think he will talk to Sir Alex. He'll talk to everyone. And like Sir Alex has said, you talk to the tea lady all the way up. You get to know the club. And this is just one thing. That report there as though, like, this is the A-team, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And that's how it sounded, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Alex Ferguson partnering up. No, I don't see that at all. I do not see that at all.
With Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in, though, obviously we've stated many times on our videos in the past that all we wanted was 100% sale of the club.
Yes.
Of at least the Glazer shares completely gone, no longer at the club. But anything that you've seen that's been reported, has anything excited you with Sir Jim Ratcliffe getting his 25%, even looking down the long-term road of maybe possibly a full takeover by Sir Jim?
No, nothing whatsoever excites me about Sir Jim Ratcliffe taking over Manchester United to me, it's just an endurance race. It's just going to go on and on and on. And all it will do is bring speculation, uncertainty for a long, long time. And I don't think that is the best thing for Manchester United. I wanted 100%. I don't care. That's what I wanted.
Is that to take then the speculation and then at least United look like they've got a direction under, like, let's say, one owner?
Yeah, because nothing is certain. You've got them Glazers in charge. They're the ones at the end of the day with the final nod, and it will just keep going on. The fans' frustration, the fans going on about the Glazers and that, which is fine. The fans will then be going on about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and then you've got players, then you've got managers, and everyone is just wondering, well, what's going to happen next year? What's going to happen in 6 months? What's going to happen in the transfer window? What is available? You know, nobody knows at the moment. There's speculation of like how much money's going at the Glazers and that. Nobody really knows. Right, and that's the problem. But that will continue. That's how I see it.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. So I'm against this type of bidding, this type of shareholding, and all that. It to me, someone coming in saying I'm going to be in charge of a certain department, and these Joel and Avram are going to be involved in certain things. It's just chaos. It is not the right way to run a top company. And especially Manchester United.
The thing is as well, like with him, by all reports, taking control of like the football strategy, the football operations, obviously there'd be budgets involved in that. So who actually then sets the budget for the actual football operations side? I don't think it's going to be Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who only owns 25% of the club. Surely that's then still going to be the Glazers. So if, let's say, for argument's sake, Sir Jim Ratcliffe needs a fiver for the season to sort out all the recruitment for Manchester United and get him what he needs, can you imagine the Glazers actually agreeing to that? They'd probably pull out the pockets and say, yeah, Jim, there's £1.75 for you. Do your best with that.
Well, here's how I look at it. You're not sure. What do you think the people in and around what are working inside there? What do you think the players are, the manager, the coaching staff? It'll just go on and on. They're unsure about this, unsure about that.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that people being unsure of the position they're going to be in, unsure of the spending limits, unsure of what's going to happen in 12 months. I don't see how they can put a long-term plan down when there's uncertainty, right, of who will have the final say. It only takes one of them to spit the dummy out.
Yeah.
And then everything they've talked about goes to pot.
Surely, though.
That's what happens.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And then there'd be absolute chaos inside the club, infighting, I get that. But surely, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, we've got to be honest, a very savvy businessman. He's a billionaire, done very well in life and still is. So surely there's agreements there in place, in contracts, for him to later on down the line take control of this football club, because paying a premium than what he has for 25% surely gives you that indication there's got to be something in place, because if there's not, it doesn't make sense to me.
From his point of view, if he's got...
When is he ever going to see a return on that?
He'll see a return in 10 years, 15, 20 years. He'll wait.
If he's still breathing.
Yeah, but then it goes down to the family and all that, right?
Fair enough, yeah.
He will have everything put down, but it's not for now. And that's the whole problem about having Sir Jim Ratcliffe there with this deal. And I keep saying it. To me, it's just chaos, uncertainty. We don't know as fans really what's going to happen. We just know one thing, that the Glazers have got the final say.
Yeah, they've got the hand on the button.
Correct.
Anything on the pitch, what you've seen up to now in the season, the Premier League, Champions League, you want to discuss? Is it England playing tonight? England are playing tonight.
Yeah,
because I've seen a report earlier, actually, to do with Harry Maguire, and it's been stating he's now Eric Ten Hag's he's one of Eric Ten Hag's most trusted lieutenants in terms of leadership. And I actually laughed when I first seen it, because I thought, well, he'd still be captain of Manchester United. And then I actually then thought, well, England must be playing tonight. And, Harry's PR team are throwing out stories and briefings to the media now, which for me personally, up to now in the last few games, I think he's done well, Maguire, and we've said that on videos.
Harry Maguire's done well, but he's not done well against top teams yet. And that's where you put the mark down for any player, how they perform against the top teams. And we've seen in the past. So let's just hope that he's doing well. We know he's doing well at the moment.
Doing better than Raphael Varane, in your opinion?
To me, Raphael Varane, he's out.
Out in...
He's out at some point, either this, maybe not this in January, but he'll be out by the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, injuries and everything like that. You can't rely on him. So the best thing to do is move him on.
Yeah, we have had that discussion in the summertime. I think with Raphael Varane, look, he's won everything that needs to be won, but it's the injuries. You're not really getting any consistency. And any team that wants to really challenge for trophies, be at the top, you always need a stable back four. You might be able to rest players and bring other players in when the time allows against the opposition, whoever you're playing, but there's just no consistency there from Rafa, is there at all?
No, none whatsoever. He's been a great player in his day, but we've only had him really so many months of him playing well. Injuries have took its toll, and that goes down to the recruitment in the background.
Got some tough fixtures coming up, considering the amount of travelling as well Man United have got to do. Is it Everton, Galatasaray, and then is it Newcastle after that?
Yeah.
A lot of travelling there for this squad, and I think Eriksen out for a month. Is Højlund coming back at the end of this month, so he's going to be missing for the couple of games what we play?
It looks like Eriksen's will be out for a while. Not too sure on Højlund. Anyone knows out there, just put it in the comments. But it's worrying having Højlund out. Worrying.
Because your backup's Martial?
Well, no, not the Martial thing, no. I look at the 3 games. They're tough games. And then you've got games after that, I think right up to Christmas. It's really tough. But I did say, by the time Christmas comes, with your injuries and everything, I think everyone will be back together and you'll sort of see a change. But having these 2 out now, because they have both been playing well, but I don't think the next 3 games, I look at it and I think to myself, these are big games.
I can see it on your face.
Yeah,
you know?
no, the big games.
Normally, you're Mr. Optimism. You're normally like, United are going to win. But I can see the grin on your face. You're not too sure about these fixtures.
No, because they're tough.
Yeah.
But what gives me a bit of optimism is I've seen United sort of like playing well in the last couple of games. People described the Luton game as very, very poor, but they completely controlled the game. They didn't.
It's the lack of goals for me.
That's all it is.
That's the worry for me.
That's all it is. Lack of goals, lack of crosses, lack of finishing power.
Yeah.
By all 3 up front, no matter who it is. That's what's poor at the moment.
And you look at some of our match winners over recent games. You know, Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire against Copenhagen at home, Dalot against Sheffield United away. You know, Lindelof against Luton. Luckily, we've got these defenders and midfielders who are actually chipping in with goals, because if they weren't, where would we be with points?
Well, where would we be? But like you say, it's just the lack of goals, lack of crosses, really.
Yeah.
But Ten Hag's there. I'm not too sure. What my worry going into these 3 games is standing up to it, and I don't want to see a collapse. If things go wrong, what I want to see is like they stick together and fight, whereas we've been beat before where you've just seen it, where they capitulate.
Yeah.
And I don't think United are in the greatest of positions at the moment to actually deal with a top side. But going away to Everton is always tough. We know that. I actually think we'll get a result there. But
deducted points as well today, Everton.
Yeah, deducted. So, you know, they'll be going down.
Yeah.
They should have gone down over the last 3 years. They've been very lucky that other teams have been very poor, but they'll be going down with that now. So United will go there to Goodison. And
that club's in total chaos. I know we talk about ours behind the scenes and that, but that club is in big, big chaos. So the pressure on them players for when they return against us, you know, it could be a toxic atmosphere there.
Well, you only have to look. If we go to Everton and win, we're in a very good position. So that should help the players going forward and the club to go into these tough 2 away games. So how we get a result out of them, I'm not too sure at the moment. I want to see how they perform at Everton, see if they can take it to him. But we'll look forward to that next week, I think.
Yeah, I think we will. See if you've got that smile on your face. Just going to dive into the chat. Vincent McDonald, cheers for your super chat, my mate. He says, love the content, lads. I think the most important thing for Ratcliffe to do is improve the staff above the manager. Paul Mitchell as director of football is a must for me. And I think that's a lot of people out there as well. Paul Mitchell gets mentioned quite a lot. But any other names that you think out there, get it in the chat, Reds.
Yeah, but the thing I have to say, I know Paul Mitchell's been mentioned by a lot of people. The last few weeks, I've seen it in the chat and the comments and all that, right? But is he best in class? That's what I ask you. Is he best in class? Has he got a CV what says I'm best in class? What has he done? What has he done, right, to take a team right up there and working in the background? That's all I'm saying. I don't know him. I don't know nothing about him. I've read reports and everything like that, but I've not followed his career. So I'm not going, yes, I like the fella, because I don't see him as best in class. And that's what I think new owners, someone coming in to take us eventually to new owners in Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if that's the plan, then he should be looking straight away for best in class. And is Paul Mitchell best in class? And it's only recently that I've seen Paul Mitchell's names mentioned. And to be honest with you, I think there's far, far better people out there.
Yeah. Well, I look at his CV. I don't know what players have been brought into the football clubs he's been at, who have then, gone on to other levels in terms of top clubs. But he hasn't been at Monaco. I think it was RB Leipzig as well, Tottenham and Southampton. But, the Leipzig one and the Monaco, It'd be interesting to see what players actually come in there whilst he was there running the operations.
Okay, I'll say this to you. If someone was best in class, you'd keep him. He's been around, hasn't he? You've just said it yourself. So I just look at that. If you had someone best in class doing a job, you would do everything to keep him. That's how I look at it. And if he's been to Tottenham, right, and he was best in class, he was at Southampton, yes, I can understand them struggling to keep him at Southampton because there's bigger players. But Tottenham, not to keep him. Monaco, listen, they've got the money, they've got the prestige, they've been around for not to keep him. But at the end of the day, you have to turn around and look. I'm looking from the outside here. Like I say, I don't know the fella, right? But I just say, well, hang on. If he's best in class, why wasn't he kept? Why didn't the clubs do everything to keep him?
But maybe he just wanted to leave. A new challenge, as they always say, take a bit of a break, assess what's going on around him, what other clubs he might be able to go to. I always look at that lad who Aston Villa have got now from Sevilla, Monchi, who's with Unai Emery over there. I think he's been really good for Sevilla. You look at how many European trophies they won whilst he was there, Unai Emery and other managers as well. And I think that was a really smart move from Aston Villa.
So if I'll look at it this way then, with what you've just said there, if he just likes moving around, then he ain't no good for Manchester United long term then, is he? If that's how he is, because you have some managers what like to stay 2 years, 3 years. You look at Mourinho, for instance, okay, right? And there's many other managers. And then when you've got people in positions like what he can be taking over in charge of like recruitment and football issues and all that, right? Well, what's the point of having him for 2, 3 years? You want somebody there who's going to be long term.
Yeah, I don't know enough about him to say yes or no, to be honest. I just know the clubs that he's been at in them sort of roles, and I'd just like to know more detail of what sort of players he's brought in at them clubs, if they are star names, household names across Europe, and if they've gone on to better things or not. That's what detail I want to know. But there's also rumours as well about Dougie Freedman from Crystal Palace. They're trying to tie 2 and 2 together there because he knows Sir Alex Ferguson was a former neighbour of his. But when we're talking about best in class, me and you, Dougie Freedman's not best in class for us, surely.
From Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Well, that just says it. What is there is no discussion. Crystal Palace, Dougie Freedman, where's your background? Where's your best in class there? So anyone mentioning that, really, it can't be right. He might have done well at Crystal Palace. I don't know.
Yeah, on the budget that they've got, they have got certain players in that squad. Especially the younger players. Do you know what I mean? That
he's never
but for Crystal Palace, though.
Well, what world class player has he dealt with?
Yeah,
and that there's your answer.
Well, it's not about just dealing with world class players. It's about identifying the next world class player, going out there and bringing them to the club cheap.
But he's never done that.
There you go.
Not at Crystal Palace.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to end it on that note, shall we, for today? Anything to add before we leave? I'd just like to say, actually, in front of everyone, I thought it was a cracking interview done with Paul Scholes the other day. And anyone who's not watched it, check out our playlist as well, because I thought it was a really interesting watch. Great interview.
Yeah, it was very relaxed and very forthcoming. So I enjoyed it. And the good thing is he enjoyed it as well. And that's what matters. So 10 out of 10 there, Paul. Yeah, still got him tied up in the wardrobe. Can't get free at the moment, can I? Want him next week as well. But yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone for joining us for that one as well. Smashing that like button. I got a great response in the comments as well. And we wouldn't be here without all your support out there. So much appreciated for your continued support. We will be back on, are we going to do Monday? Are we having this weekend off again? Or we're coming back Monday, unless there's any big breaking news? Listen, we'll be back Monday, definitely. Yeah. And if there's anything out there, we'll come. But we've tried to relax this week, but it's not worked. No, it's not. But we've got to get you a video done today because we do miss you all interacting. So thanks for joining us, everyone. You enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back on Monday with another live video. So hopefully, let's see you there. Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.